truth that you are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison for your mind.
Greetings to all of humanity's reader joy. It's my pleasure, it's my honor, as usual, to be out here well connected with nature and bring to you this message of emancipation, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that is why I want to speak to you concerning why we become what we think about. Okay? So in other words, I'm saying to you that thoughts become things. And if you are listening to me at this time, it means that you're familiar with the teachings of Neville Goddard and how he was taught by Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia. And we see if we should take all of the teaching and put them together in one phrase, it would be that we become what we think about. And Nightingale would have done a very wonderful work concerning we become what we think about in The Stranger's Secret, which I would also recommend that you listen to. Also, James Allen, he has a book that called As a Man Thinketh, and it's been read also by Nightingale. I would recommend that for you too. Now, if we should look a little bit more deeper, we would realize that everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. Therefore, a thought is a vibrational frequency, and the brain is a transmitter and a receiver of frequency. Therefore, whenever you think something over and over and over and over and over again, and you add feelings to it, it is known as emotion. And emotion is energy in motion. Okay, and there's an ocean of motion. And as the ocean brings the same tide in that goes back out, so too is your thoughts. Because you have a conscious and a subconscious mind. And whatever you impress on the subconscious mind is going to come back to you. Okay? And that is why you are told in the Bible that whatsoever you sow, that also shall you reap. So everything that is happening in our life is being created by us. But it's been done through thoughts. And that is why it is very important for us to understand that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. For the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history. And it was written symbolically. Therefore, it has no reference to anyone who existed thousands of years ago or to any actual event that would have taken place on earth thousands of years ago. So from the beginning to the ending of the Bible, it's all a great psychological drama, and it all have to do with the human psyche. Because your thought is what is creating your reality and creating your personality. So when you understand how the mind works, and you understand that there's a part of the brain that is called the reticular activating system that filters your thoughts. And whatever thought that's being repeated over and over and over and over with feeling, it would impress the subconscious mind. Then you would realize how your reality is being created. So it's very important for you to understand when it says that if you seek first the kingdom of God is righteousness, that when you discover the kingdom, that you will also discover the secret of creation, and you're able to create your reality consciously. That is why it says that all these things that you desire in this world, they will be added unto you, because you understand the law of mentalism. You understand that everything was first a thought, everything was first mental, everything was first psychological. So once you understand that and you work with that principle, you would realize there are many things that are happening in this world to distract you from using that power. Because that power is what you use to achieve your every desire. So here we see that when Neville wanted to travel to Barbados to see his family, Abdullah taught him how imagination creates reality. Abdullah taught him how thoughts become things. And so Abdullah taught Neville to live in his imagination morning, noon, and night. And he did it up to a month before it manifested. So whatever you desire and you're willing to write it down, and you're willing to read it or repeat it over and over and over, so that it can impress upon your subconscious mind, while you will close your eyes and go within and visualize, see it in your mind's eye, and go to the end. Whatever you can appropriate and believe strongly enough, you will be able to manifest it. So, my brother, my sisters, in order for you to really prove this principle, you have to put it to work. This is not theory. This is practical. So when we say thoughts become things, or we become what we think about, that's the only how you can know when you put it to the test. That is why even in the Bible, in 2 Corinthians 13:5, it tells you to test yourself, examine yourself, see if you have any faith or not. Then it says to you, don't you know your own self? That Jesus Christ is in you, showing you that Jesus is not a man 2,000 years ago. It's the power that exists that is within you, the power to create. It is speaking of your mind power, teaching you that the Bible is a book of mind science. So all of these teachings that has been happening in the self-help realm, in self-development, self-improvement, self-empowerment, it all have to do with self. And that is why true salvation is self-realization, because everything has been created by our thoughts. So remember this, we become what we think about. We become what we think about. Therefore, be responsible for your thoughts and your actions, and blame no one outside of yourself to be the enemy. The devil is your self-doubt. It's your negative thoughts. So put the devil under your feet by putting your negative thoughts under your feet, because you have learned the greatest lesson of life, that we become what we think about. As long as you learn it and you put it to work in your life, it will change you forever and will change you for good. That's the same principle you use to generate money, you use to generate wealth. So everything that you desire in this world can be yours if only you can believe in yourself, because you have learned that thoughts become things, and we do become what we think about most of the time. So spend your time more wisely, thinking on the right things, thinking on what you want instead of focusing on what you do not want, and remove all the distractions like the news, the television, and all of the different influences of this world that are there to block you from tapping in to this creative power of imagination, by understanding that thoughts become things. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. And I want to say, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, and what I'm saying, it makes sense to you, resonating with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you haven't followed me already on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at Black Mad Guru. Also, you can check out my work and my Patreon. There's a lot of good information that there for you. And for those who are donating at least $20 or more, you'll have access to the inner sun science and technology to create your reality consciously. And we are living in a time when they want to dim the sun, they want to black out the sun. But I'm saying to you, the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And as long as you tap into the sun or that light within you, there's no good thing that will be withheld from you. And you're told also in Malachi chapter 4 and verses 2, that the sun, the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And I want to say to you, if you look within, there's where you will find all healing, because you learn that thoughts become things. Also, if there's any way that you would like to support this work, we have a PayPal, and the link is down below. Feel free to support. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, out.